What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Nicey Chunga Benny. I'm here with my co-host, Greg King.
What's good, everybody?
And you're listening to the Ball Fake Podcast. Welcome back to another episode. This is now episode 30. If you're new to our YouTube channel or you're listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure to give us a nice review, comment, hashtag Let's Go Viral. This is a new movement that we recently just started because our goal in the end of this year is to have 5,000 subscribers. So make sure you guys like and subscribe and turn on post notifications and help us achieve that goal. But as for today's video, we have a very special video for you guys. We're doing a NBA comparison video. This is going to be the start of our new series called Who's Better, where we obviously compare two similar players and we guys basically break down, their games and who we think is the better player overall. But today, before we hop into that, we have a quick shout out for our subscriber today, which is Caleb Love. We appreciate you liking and subscribing and just showing much love to our new channel and everything. But like I said, we're going to break down LaMelo Ball versus Cade Cunningham, and I'm going to let Greg start out with his thoughts.
Yes, sir. So I'm gonna start off with the question: who is better? That's the title of the video. And I gotta give the slight edge to LaMelo, but if we were talking about who's the better hooper, I gotta give it to Cade because he's gonna go get you buckets time and time again this season in clutch moments. He's went and got buckets for Oklahoma State and put them in positions their chances to win. I'm not saying LaMelo can't do that, but Cade, just with his improved shooting and the stuff that he's been doing at Oklahoma State, that's really impressed me. For him going into the league, I think that he edges LaMelo on the going to get buckets. But as far as a slightly better player, let's just look at LaMelo. LaMelo's doing great things with the Hornets right now and come in, great energy. This guy, since he's been a starter, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, shooting 46% from the field, 43% from the three-point line, just being that leader on the team, bringing that energy. And I kind of compare LaMelo to a situation like he's just always been that guy. He's always been that guy that we knew that he was going to be the next Ball brother to be great after Lonzo, and he's really showing that right now. He's showing that he can elevate his teammates. The stuff that he does with the basketball, the flair that he brings with the swagger. The stuff that he does on the court is very nice to see, very that entertainment value. But other than that, like, he's just putting the Hornets in position to make the playoffs right now, have him in a great spot right now, and just keep fighting to get in the playoffs. And I like what LaMelo's doing this year, improving his decision making off the pick and roll, pushing the pace, making sure he gets everybody involved, but also picking out spots for him. He's average, and then on the defensive end, he still needs to work on it, but he's averaging a steal a game. He gets in the passing lanes. He can rotate. He can slide his feet when he wants to, but he'll continue to work on his defensive IQ and get better at that over time. But as far as player, I just got to edge it to LaMelo. But switching over to Cade, I love his size, 6'8", 220 as a guard. I think he's a lock for the number one pick just for what he does on the court, averaging 20, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, 45% from the field, shooting 41% from the three-point line. He averages a steal too. He can get in the passing lane. I love his length and how he can get up into the guards on the perimeter. I love how he comes out the pick and roll and can find his teammates. I would like to see him push the pace more in transition, but I love Cade as a player. I think he can come into an NBA team and start right away and just bring that energy and get buckets for them. And I think Cade will be an essential player in the NBA. He needs time to prove himself. But I think for the tournament, if you guys are going to tune in, look out for Cade Cunningham for Oklahoma State. I think he can lead them to at least round 2, maybe even Sweet 16. But he's a great player. He's a leader, and he's going to do great things.
Right. I agree with you 100%. But I think the funny thing about this comparison is the fact that you look at these two guys and they have a way more similarities than you would really think. Both of these guys are generational talents. I would say at this point in their careers, for the majority of their career, they've been recognized as winners at each and every level for the most part. And I think the thing that I like about them the most is the fact that their games fit the modern NBA. We look at the NBA as of right now, you have a 6'8", 6'9" point guard in LeBron James, 6'10" point forward and Ben Simmons, and LaMelo Ball and Cade Cunningham, they're similar to an extent when it comes to their size and the fact that they're able to facilitate as well as these guys, while also bringing a ton to the table offensively. Both of these guys, they're scoring guards. Like I said, they're astronomical facilitators, and I think for the most part, Cade and Melo, they're going to be the future of the NBA. They both have star talent and everything. They have a ton of hype around them. And overall, you know, these are two guys that are literally franchise players that have the ability to really have a great impact on any organization that they play for. But I think their number one similarity is the fact that, you know, they're both great facilitators, like I just stated. I mean, their court vision is just phenomenal. I mean, I think these are two guys that are really able to see plays before they fully develop. And at this stage of their careers, that's very surprising because not too many players at their age have that type of ability. You know, their basketball instincts really enable them to create for their teammates and everything. The fact that they're able to read defenses correctly and just make the right overall play for the most part, I think it's phenomenal.
And especially LaMelo, adjusting to that pace of the NBA, it's very impressive.
Right, and I think what I love most about their passing abilities is the variety of ways where they distribute the ball. You know, we all know Melo, he's more so known for those touchdown passes down court. He also throws a lot of cross-court passes with his offhand. Cade is also similar in that department as well. And I think most importantly, Melo is terrific when he comes out of the Spain pick and roll to throw those lobs to Miles Bridges. I mean, we've seen those electrifying plays this entire season, and you know, he's really been able to make Miles Bridges a much better player. Now, as far as Cade Cunningham, when it comes to his distribution tendencies, he's not as flashy as a player as, you know, LaMelo Ball is. He tends to, you know, make the right play on a simple dime. You know, most of his assists, I would say, come off penetration. You know, he does a really good job of threading the needle, generally out of the pick and roll. And, you know, he's also good at making those skip passes from the strong side of the floor. And he's versatile with his playmaking. But overall, if I had to choose who I think the better passer is out of the two, I would say some LaMelo Ball. Just because, you know, I don't think Melo sees a pass that he doesn't like and that he can't make. You know, he just does it so effortlessly. It's second nature to this guy. But I mean, what are your thoughts on their playmaking abilities?
Yeah, I got to give it to LaMelo too. Just the flair and just like the different stuff, like a pass. I mean, we can all make simple passes, but sometimes you got to thread the needle. Sometimes you got to make over the shoulder pass. Sometimes you got to drive and the dude jumps in the air. You got to wrap around and pass and throw a dime. Like the stuff that LaMelo does and puts the little flair on it and like the extra touch on it just to give it to his guys, then the unique ways that he does off the pick and roll. I think I have to give the edge to LaMelo just because of that. But don't discredit Cade. He can definitely find the right person. I mean, him penetrating, he's always going to draw a double team because he can finish well. So he just makes the right play, but I just got to give the edge to LaMelo.
Right, and I think one knock to Cade is the fact that he does not pass well out of double teams. A lot of the times this converts into a lot of turnovers, and obviously if you're going to be my best player on the floor, whether or not you have talent or not around you, you're not going to be able to be as effective if you're turning the ball over consistently, because his turnover to assist ratio isn't all that well. And that's typically because, you know, he's playing with guys that can't really shoot, and they struggle catching the ball at times and aren't necessarily ready for his passes all the time. But I think that's something that Cade won't really have to, you know, struggle with at the next level when he gets to the NBA. But I think one thing that they do defer in is when they score the ball and how they do it. I would say Melo has a more broad shot selection. You know, he typically shoots a lot of threes, floaters, and layups, you know, similar to a guy like James Harden, while Cade, he's more of a versatile offensive player. You know, he can stretch it out from three. He can play in the post because, you know, he's 6'8", 220. He can connect on mid-range jumpers, and he finishes around the rim pretty well due to his size and everything. Despite him struggling shooting the long two-pointer, I think, you know, last time I checked, he was shooting something around 30 to like 34% on long twos. But I don't think that he'll struggle with that at the next level, because they'll probably encourage him to shoot more threes, given the fact that, you know, they're trying to space the floor more at the next level. But I mean, what are your thoughts on my statements?
There's one thing that I want to point out. Like I watched a lot of Big 12 games because I like Texas. So I mean, not this past Texas game in the championship, but when they play Texas and some bigger guards or guards who can get out there on defense, he struggled a lot with the turnovers when they pressed him as soon as he crossed the half-court line. And I feel like he had cleaned that up with his decision-making. And like you said, his teammates could not catch, especially them bigs and forwards. So I think he'll clean that up. He'll be fine. And his shooting, I think it'd be fine. I love it. I love his form and his stroke. So he'll be fine in the next level. Yeah,
and I think there are some areas offensively where both of these guys can, you know, really improve. As far as Melo, he's great moving off ball, but sometimes he clogs the paint whenever, you know, he's trying to space the floor, because he tends to, you know, sit in the dunker spot at times whenever, you know, he's flaring on pick and rolls and everything. And this kind of, I think he does this because, you know, he's trying to get the rebound and get out in transition so he can look for his open teammates and, you know, connect on lob passes with Miles Bridges and stuff. But at the next level, this is not a good idea, just because, you know, it hurts the spacing in the half court set, and it's going to lead to lower percentages on your shots and everything. But as far as Cade, I would say Cade, given the fact that he's so great offensively with his basketball IQ, I think he tends to overanalyze the defense at times. You know, I've seen a lot of times when, you know, he does a good job of reading the bigs, but he tends to force shots at the rim, or he'll over dribble and stuff like that. But I mean, overall, if I had to pick one of these players offensively, I think Cade Cunningham is a safer pick, just because you know what you're getting from him on a nightly basis. Now, defensively, I think they both have great intangibles. Melo, he's very lengthy, 6'7" point guard. You know, he can get in the passing lanes, and, you know, he's very good off ball. And I think that's a reason why, you know, he's averaging a steal a game and has been, you know, one of the best defenders on the Charlotte Hornets. But I mean, what would you say that Melo needs to improve on, or Cade needs to improve on defensively?
I think with LaMelo, defensive IQ, like defending on the perimeter, I think most definitely LaMelo needs to get better on the perimeter defending. But everything else for LaMelo in the passing lanes and him reading the defense off ball, very good, very, very decent, very good. And then for Cade, I think he can get out there on the perimeter and press guards, but I think he needs to develop on the defensive end and his IQ, and just where to be and where to rotate sometimes, and try to limit the reaches and the fouls. But I think he'd be fine.
And I really like Cade defensively, just because, you know, yeah, I would say that he's a versatile defender given his size and, you know, the position that he plays. I think this is a guy who can guard 1 through 4 at the next level. You know, he does a really good job from at least what I've seen of him playing at Oklahoma State. Whenever he gets beat off the dribble and, you know, he tries to contest a shot, he does a really good job of, you know, using his length and being able to still bother the shot despite him getting beat off the dribble. And I think the only knock on the defensive end is you kind of question his athleticism. You know, we're not probably going to be seeing too many LeBron chase down type of blocks when it comes to, you know, Cade Cunningham, but I think he has tremendous upside overall on the defensive end. But overall, I would say LaMelo Ball is the better player at this state of moment. Until Cade Cunningham proves that he can do what he's able to do at the college level at the next level.
Gotcha. But yeah, I thought you were gonna say Cade for sure.
I mean, I really, you could do either or, man. You really could, but I don't want to necessarily make a prediction right now. And I know it seems like it's kind of clickbait, but, you know, I can't just act like, you know, this guy isn't playing at college and he's playing in a different system. Once I see him play at the NBA level, you know, we'll be able to really make this comparison. But you guys let us know what y'all think in the comment section. Do you think Cade Cunningham is a better overall player than LaMelo Ball? And if you agree with us, tell us why you agree. If you disagree, tell us why you disagree. But outside of that, it's your boy, Nicey Chungabini. I'm here with my co-host, Greg King, and we out.
We out.